Hey, it's Figure Hunter, and up for review today is the Polar OH1 Optical Heart Rate Sensor. This is a long-term review after having used it for quite a while, as well as just sort of a comparison of things I like and don't like. Plus, this is a heart rate accuracy analysis review. So we're going to look at it across a few different basic spectrums when compared to a chest strap. We're comparing it to the Polar H10, which is sort of the gold standard. As always, this Figure Hunter channel, as well as the FitGearHunter.com website, is dedicated to testing and tracking devices for the purpose of CrossFit and high-intensity interval training. And obviously, optical heart rate sensors fail across the wrist all the time, so you have to make sure that anything you're supplementing your heart rate tracking with is providing accuracy so that you're getting a clear analysis of how intense and how hard you're working when you go to work out. So stay tuned for more videos. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. We have the full review for the Garmin Enduro coming this weekend, plus a comparison to some other watches that are on the market. So with that, let's dive in. So what is the Polar OH1 Optical Heart Rate Sensor? It's just a sensor that you wear with a simple band. You wear it on the bicep or on the forearm. It has simply 6 LED lights on the back. We'll look at it in a second up close. It tracks ANT+ and Bluetooth capable, so it can connect to those two different devices. You can save up to 200 hours of training data, and you can either save your items on the device itself and then upload it later through Polar Flow, or you can literally link it directly to the Polar Beat app and track your workout in real time. It's got 12 hours of battery life, it's waterproof to 30 meters, and it weighs all together with the strap about 12 grams. It did come with some goggle straps, 2 different types, so you could wear it on your temple, so it tracks your heart rate as you're swimming. But I didn't test any of those things. We're just testing it on the bicep. I didn't even bother to test it on the forearm, because the whole purpose of this video is just to look at kind of the features and benefits of how it works functionally when doing CrossFit and high intensity interval training, as well as, more importantly, how accurate is it when you're doing intense workouts with high peaks and then falls, high peaks of heart rate and then fall. So how accurately does it keep up with that much fluctuation? Because I realize there's a lot of reviews out there that track it in a basic run, maybe with some sprints and some tempo running, but not with the intensity and the peaks that come out of CrossFit training. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at it in 4 different basic metrics. So first, we're just going to look at a hands-on of just how it looks, what the little charging pod looks. Then we're going to look at an analysis of the heart rate over time. So in a multitude of workouts, we're not going to look at all the workouts. I saved a lot of data, multiple workouts, but we're going to track it and compare it to a chest strap on 4 basic tracking metrics. 1, how much does it compare to the average heart rate of the workout that the chest strap picked up? 2, because it's a Polar device and I've got a Polar H10 chest strap and I got a Polar Advantage V2, how does it compare with the cardio load evaluation, which obviously that stat itself flows directly into your load. Over time, it flows into your Training Load Pro, so it flows into evaluating how hard you've been working in the last 7 days as well as the last 28 days. So the cardio load metric. 3, we're going to track it to the peak 5 zone. So you're at 90 to 100% of maximum heart rate zone. Did it capture that most intense moments? And then 4, we're going to track it in the zone 4 and 5, so 80% and up. Did it capture the right amount of minutes in those periods to get a final score as it compares to a chest strap? And then last, we're just going to talk about things I like, things I don't like after testing it for a number of years. So with that, let's dive in and look at the device. Okay, so what is it hands-on? It's just a little pod. Obviously, this is the charging clip. It's relatively small. I mean, obviously it's easy and it's convenient if you want to keep it with you at all times or in your bag, and you just snap it in there and plug it in from there. So the 2 come apart, so it snaps into its own little case. So it snaps in and out of the case like that, so you can see the charging clips. And the way it basically functions is really somewhat simple. You hold it down and the lights will come on, and then it's on. If you're linking it to the Polar Beat app, the Beat app will see it when it's on, and you can start the workout in the Polar Beat and it'll just pick up the heart rate here. And if you want to track your workout, you have a green light. If it's flashing once, it just means it's on and ready, and you double tap it and it'll flash twice. And that means that it's tracking the workout that you're doing, and then you double tap it again and it should say go blue. So it's going to say I'm now downloading information off to polar flow. So it'll probably, I'll have like a 2-second Strava session in a second. But the strap itself is relatively easy. You just, you can adjust the width there. You can strap it on your forearm. You can tighten it up, which you would do for the forearm, and you can strap it to your bicep. So it comes with other swim goggle straps, which we're not going to look at. But all in all, that is the OH1. Looking at it, obviously the OH1 Plus is only a metric to say that this now has Ant Plus compatibility to track to more devices. The original OH1 actually got the same upgrade, so you actually can still use the OH1 original and it'll track to both devices because it had an update that was available. So you hold it down twice to turn it off, and if the battery's low, this is going to start blinking red periodically, which I just don't like the feeling of. Like, when is it going to die? I don't know how much is left. So that's the hands-on. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the analysis for the optical heart rate accuracy. Okay, so what we have here is just a bunch of workouts that I've tracked over a period of time. I guess it's just about 3 weeks, sort of intermittently, and died once. So, not exactly perfect, but enough test to be able to get a true understanding. So in each of these, we're tracking just 4 basic metrics, and I'm giving certain percentage weights to different parts. So the average heart rate you see in the top right, the cardio load evaluation, that's the evaluation for the amount of exertion your body was under, and then the peak zone 5, the 90% to 100% of maximum heart rate. How much time did it track the right amount of time versus the chest strap? And then the 4 and 5 together. So did it track the upper 20%, the 80% to 100% of maximum heart rate? And you can see, in these first few ones, you're actually getting relatively good accuracy. So there's 10 minutes in the red zone versus 9 minutes, 55 seconds. So it's about 20 seconds off. There was a Garmin workout, which I ended up dropping because it was off by 1 beat on the tracking. So 143 versus 77, 142 versus 77. So that's really accurate. 4 minutes, 55 seconds in the red zone, 1920 in the orange zone, and then 433, 1934. So you have a lot of times where it's accurate like that, and times where it's maybe not as accurate, 634, 346, 632, 316. I guess that's actually really accurate. And what happened is and you put it into a chart form. Okay, so you can see in this chart, the simple thing is that you have your average heart rate calculation, which I only assigned at the bottom. You can see 10% allocation to that because that's more of a bland metric and a lot of accuracy there. It's not hard to get accurate to there, and other instruments have, or other optical heart rate trackers have. Cardio load is the polar evaluation of the exertion from the workout. And that does flow into your Training Load Pro, so it evaluates how much you're exerting yourself in recent days versus how much you're exerting yourself over long days. So I gave that a 20% allocation. And to me, the most important or the biggest test of a optical heart rate or a heart rate sensor tracking accuracy is, does it pick up zone 5? Does it pick up that 90 to 100% of your maximum heart rate with relative accuracy? And you can see here that it picked it up really well. So 97.43% accurate. That was given a weight of 45%, and then in the zone 4 and 5. So that's actually what you see there is the zone 4 amount of time, but the percentage comparison is the zone 4 and 5 together relative to zone 4 and 5 on the optical heart rate. On the chest strap. So 98% accurate. So I think that is solid, and let's come together to talk about. So what do I think in really using it over a long period of time? What are the things I like, things I don't like? I do like the accuracy of it. Obviously 98% accurate. There were times where I thought maybe it's not going to get as good of a score, but after tracking it for a long period of time, it's basically 98% accurate. That's you can take it to the bank. 2, I like that it can stand alone, so you don't actually have to pair it to anything. You don't have to have a watch. You don't have to have your phone. You can just put it in your bag, take it to the gym, turn it on, track your workout, go home later and upload your workout. So I like that it's standalone. And then 3, I like that it's out of the way. So I haven't had many problems with the chest strap. There will be times when you're cycling sort of touch and go power cleans or something like that, where you might clip the chest strap, the little pod on the way up. But I like that it's out of the way. It's on your arm. What did I not like? I don't like some of the basics of how it functions. So I don't like the button press. There would be times, there were actually a couple workouts where I did 2 deliberate button presses, and I thought the workout, and I didn't wait to see flashing green lights. And so I didn't actually start the workout until partway in, when I went to double check to see flashing green lights that it was tracking or testing the workout. I didn't like the flippy floppy nature. So if you can see it, so if you put it on it's actually not problematic, but it just feels flippy floppy. I mean, it could easily flip over, and I would often have, now in real life you actually don't have that much of a problem, but I just don't like that it doesn't feel secure and solid, and it does sort of flip up and down. If you're putting a sweatshirt on and off, if you're doing any kind of changes like that, forget about it. It's gonna, you're probably gonna swipe it and it's gonna flip over. So I didn't like that sort of flip-flop nature. And then I didn't like having to charge the thing. As I said, when I saw the hands-on, the little pod, very easy to lose. I've lost it twice, and it's annoying that it has the little tiny charger, and that I don't like. So 12 hours of battery life realistically lasted about 9 workout days, maybe 8. So if your workout, is basically an hour and 15 minutes with a little bit of warm up, cool down, or just messing around, you're killing some battery just here and there. It didn't actually get a full 12, and it just felt like, oh God, you can try to sync it to see the battery life remaining on the unit, but to me, it starts flashing red when it's getting low, and to me that's problematic, because I'm just thinking, oh great, it's going to die in the middle of workout. I'm not going to track my workout. I'm not going to have stats. Not going to float a cardio load. Not going to see sort of how I'm performing or how I'm doing over a long period of time. So to me, that was a problem. I like, and I still continue to like, the H10 chest strap. It's the Steady Eddie. It may not be the most comfortable, and I don't know how others compare. The pod can pop off if you hit it too hard, but all in all, this has 200 days of battery life. So this can last for a long, long time. You don't worry about having to fiddle with anything. You just put it on, the watch automatically syncs and finds it, and you're off about your workout. So with that, that's the review for the Polar OH1 long-term review, and this is the OH1 Plus. So either way, they're both just tracking. One's tracking Bluetooth and Ant Plus, one's tracking Bluetooth like the original. But that's the long-term review, as well as the optical heart rate analysis review. So with that, Figure Hunter, thanks for watching.